What's up, everybody, and welcome back to C3D TV. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the East3D Sapphire Corexy 3D printer. So we're going to jump right in. Here it is right here, and here's all the prints that I have done on it, as well as one going right now. So we're just going to kind of start off with the specs of the printer, and as you can see, it has a 200 by 200 by 200 build volume. It uses your standard 1.75 millimeter filament. It is a Corexy machine. It does have a heated bed, and it works well. It can print at between 60 and 200 millimeters a second. This is actually printing at 200 millimeters a second right now. And I use Simplify 3D to slice all of my prints. But you can use Cura and Slicer and things like that. It uses a USB right there in the front to put all your files onto the printer for printing. The maximum extruder temperature is 250 degrees with 100 degrees Celsius on the bed, and it is a 24-volt system, so everything heats up relatively quickly. So now I'm going to jump right in real quick just to my experiences with the printer and how everything's gone for me. So we'll start off with the assembly. This is like a partial kit. It does come partially assembled. Pretty much everything you see here in the base is assembled. You have to add the screen. You have to add all of these extrusions, and then the top plate and the Z-axis stuff. It was relatively easy to put together. The instructions could use work. The translation to English wasn't that great, but overall, for the most part, it was an easy build. My first Corexy printer I ever built, so that was an experience, but overall, it was a good one. Some minor issues I ran into while assembly was some of my tolerances were extremely tight, and I know other people haven't had the same experience as me. But for instance, on this front corner right here, there's a pillow bearing, and I could not get it to fit. In fact, I actually broke the pillow bearing and had to 3D print a part to keep this straight from wobbling, so I hold the belt correctly. I'm going to blame myself on that. I don't think it was the printer's fault or East3D's fault, but it is working now. Yeah. So, along with the assembly, the quality of the parts I received were nice. All of the linear rods were straight. The Z screw was straight as well. The couplers weren't stretched or anything like that. Everything was packaged well. Nothing was broke out of the box. There was a couple loose screws that I never really found out where they went, but as you can see, it didn't affect me. A couple things I don't like about this printer, though, are pretty much they all have to do with the bed and the hot end. The bed only has 3 leveling points, 2 in the front in each corner, and then 1 in the center. I don't like that. It's not a triangle bed. If it was a triangle bed, I get it, but a triangle bed would be stupid. And so are 3 leveling screws. This is a square. Squares have 4 corners. Give me a leveling screw in each corner. It's easy. It makes sense in my brain. That's what I'm used to. And all would have been good in the hood if that was the case. It wasn't. Still, leveling this thing wasn't hard. It's just kind of being nitpicky. It doesn't make sense to me to only have 3 leveling screws. And then also, the non-removable bed. As you'll notice in the video, I do have glass now. That wasn't because there was anything wrong with the adhesive build tech sheet that they included. It was that I printed too close to it and couldn't get that print off of the printer. And when I did, I was pulling on it, tugging on it, and the adhesive sheet lifted up, and I had to replace it. And it didn't, and it only came with 1, so I went to my local hardware store, got a piece of glass cut, threw some clips on it, and here I am printing away with glass, glue stick, and binder clips, and I love it. I would much rather prefer them to send this with a removable bed. I don't know why they don't. I personally don't understand why anyone doesn't include a removable bed. It just seems so much easier, and I personally hate trying to scrape and knock off a print and the entire printer shaking, the whole bed shaking. I feel like I'm going to break something, and if I can remove it, I can set this on the floor, peel it off, knock it off, and I'm not worrying about breaking my machine. The only other thing that I have had a kind of a pet peeve with is the way this whole hot end is attached to this linear rail up top. It's just two screws holding it in, and it just seems like really rudimentary, basic, and something like a failure point for this printer. I haven't had any issues with it still, so once again, take it with a grain of salt. This is pretty much me nitpicking. I just think they could have done it better. Also, something to keep in mind, I was one of the first 2 people I know to receive this printer, so there are probably some changes. In fact, one of my other admins for the C3D support groups on Facebook recently received these, and his hot end setup is different in terms of the fan configuration and not being 3D printed, but the way it connects to the linear rail on top is still the same. So it's something they haven't fixed, but they have changed that setup, and we'll see how how things continue to change from there. Overall, my experience with this machine has been great. One of my favorite things actually about the machine is the touchscreen, and that's shocking. Typically, when I deal with a touchscreen on a 3D printer, I am left with nothing but disappointment. Either it's non-responsive, there's not enough features, I feel like I can't get into the settings, everything's convoluted, they've hid stuff in menus that shouldn't be hidden there, and it doesn't make sense. And good job to East3D and this menu and the way everything's set up. It is easy. And I do not feel like I made sacrifices in my settings and how to get to things and what I can adjust on the printer within this touchscreen. It's responsive. I have everything's there that I can think of that I personally would like to mess with, and that's enough for me. And props to them for real. I was shocked. It was something I was expecting not to like, and I love it. Also, it ships with a Titan extruder clone. I don't think it's the real thing, but it works. I appreciate it better than just the cheap plastic printed extruders that you're seeing coming on a lot of printers. So, like I said, overall, I do think the quality of everything is very nice. The linear rails are nice. Having everything pretty much pre-built is nice. On the bottom, though, the wiring and everything was a little wild, a little crazy, and I didn't know what to expect with building because there's just kind of wires hanging everywhere, a little bit of a rat's nest. They did include a bunch of zip ties, a couple like 3M sticky tabs for you to stick up under there, and cable tie down to create cable tie down points. And in the end, it made everything really nice, really tidy, as you can see. Pretty much the only cable that I have exposed is for the Z end stop. Everything else is really easily hid away with the stuff that they include. So pretty much that wraps up everything for this printer. Like I said, the little things that I didn't like, I do feel like are nitpicking at this point. This printer, for my first Corexy experience, coming as a pre-built, almost finished out-the-box kit that really took me only about 30 minutes to get together, it's been a good experience. I can't commend East3D enough on how well they were able to make this just go together, and everything just kind of worked. So if you're interested in picking up one of these, we will have a link to the AliExpress page below. It's not an affiliate link. I do not have an AliExpress affiliate set up, and for some reason AliExpress is not working with me on that. So you can pick one of these up. Description below. Right now the price is $331.50 US, and it is DHL US shipping. You should have it in like 10 days, which is awesome. If you're considering checking out a Corexy, you've been looking at Corexys and you really don't know what to pick, I think this is a great option. Or if you've been looking at printers in general and you're not sure that something's as big as the CR10, or that you're not confident in that style and you want something more stable, this is it. I would go for this. At the $331 price point, below $400 price point, this printer has thoroughly impressed me. As you can see, all the quality of prints I've gotten off it have been fantastic, and it's been great. I had to calibrate some stuff to make everything print at the right height. Very easy. But overall, yeah, guys, check it out. Description below. If you guys have liked this video, have any questions, comments, throw a comment down in the comment section below. I'll try to answer your questions. Like the video if you liked it. Don't like it if you don't like it. Subscribe. We appreciate it. Have a good one. Thanks.